If you've been around for the last couple weeks, we've been bugging you about this, but I want to take one last opportunity to remind you, if you have not yet downloaded the Church Center app on your smartphone, that I encourage you to do so. The Church Center app is a great place for you to stay connected. There's opportunities there for you to register for events, to register your kids for things that are coming up, to stay up to date on what's happening. There's an opportunity in the Church Center app for you to give online. As we progress through fixing up or working on our discipleship program, there will be opportunities there for you to register and sign up for groups. The Church Center app is a great place for you to get and to stay plugged into what's happening here at Madison Hills. There's also an easier way there for you to check in your kids. If you're running through the door trying to get everything together, you can check them in online and save yourself a step in the process. I encourage you, download the Church Center app and find Madison Hills Christian Church and get connected that way. The other thing that I wanted to announce and remind you of is that every Tuesday night, our church provides a ministry to our friends who are experiencing homelessness called Room in the Inn. We've partnered with 5 different churches in the area that every night from December 7th until March 15th, we will be one of the churches that helps provide a warm place for our friends experiencing homelessness to sleep. What we do is our turn as a church is on Tuesday nights. So on Tuesday nights, somebody comes in and somebody sets up all of the cots and moves all of the furniture and gets the room ready for them to sleep in. On Tuesday evening, somebody comes in and has prepared a meal and sits and eats the meal with our friends who are coming that night. Somebody has picked them up at the check-in station. Several people stay all night while our friends sleep and stay up for security purposes and stay here to keep everything on the level. Some people come and feed breakfast to our friends the next morning. Some people sack lunches for them to take with them. I want to say this, and I don't want you to feel singled out if this is you, but I want you to hear this. There are some people who are resistant to this, and I understand those who aren't sure how they feel about this ministry. I understand the questions and the concerns that have been raised, and I hear them, but I want you to know, I want to ask you to just come on a Tuesday night. Get with Heather. Heather Davis is leading this ministry. Get with her on this. Find a place on the schedule to come and serve dinner to our neighbors. To come and just spend a few minutes getting to know Carl and getting to know Bo, getting to know Shane. Spend a few minutes getting to know these guys and hearing their stories. The first week we had 5 gentlemen. Last week we had 5 gentlemen and 2 ladies. Spend a moment just getting to know who they are, about what brought them here. I think that a lot of your fears and a lot of your concerns would definitely be challenged, if not thwarted, by just spending a couple minutes talking to Carl. If you just spend a few moments hearing the story that Bo has to tell, you would change your heart and you change your mind. I know that there's some fear involved here. I know that a new and uncomfortable situation can be scary, but I want to challenge you and I want to push you. Jesus tells the disciples in the gospel, he says, listen, I was homeless and you didn't take me in. And the disciples say, when was I home? When were you homeless? We would have taken you in. When did we see this? And he says, I tell you, whatever you did for the least of those, you did for me. And so Jesus tells him, he says, listen, anytime there's an opportunity to do this, you're doing this for Jesus. And so I hear the concern, I hear the resistance, but I want you to hear more than that. Names like Carl, Bo, Shane, names like Marla, names of friends of ours, of neighbors of ours who are struggling and who need a warm place to lay their head. And I want to challenge you to maybe consider serving in this area. If you would like to serve, if you have some areas or some opportunities to serve, email heather.davis@eku.edu. She'll get you scheduled. She's doing an amazing job heading this up for us. But I want you to just take a moment to consider where you could fit in this ministry as we help our friends come in from the cold. Today we are kicking off a new series called Yet. And when we start this series, I purposely started it at the end of 2019 because I think that the word yet is so fraught with potential that there's not much you can deny about it. And I always think about potential when it comes to the new year. Right? The year ends. Tuesday is New Year's Eve. Wednesday starts the year 2020. Some of us still have some work to do on our goals and our New Year's resolutions. I wanted to lose 50 pounds by the end of this year. So in the next 3 days, I'm hoping to drop 48. We'll see what happens. But I actually, I know that some of you, like you make the New Year's resolution. I'm a big fan of when people do that. There are critics and there are complainers who don't like it, but I'm a big fan because I think that there's always opportunity for us as people, for us as humans, for us as just general followers of Jesus. I think there's opportunity for us to do better. I stopped making specific New Year's resolutions a couple years ago because one of the things that I decided I wanted to do was I don't want to just come up with a goal and try to meet it. I just want to do better. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better preacher. Please. I want to be better at so many things. And so I don't want to reach a specific goal. I just want to do better this year than I did last year. And that's why we're for the next 4 weeks talking about this series yet. And we're talking about how 2020 could be our best year yet. So I did some research, and you probably know this if you've ever watched the news or anything like that, but there are some New Year's resolutions that are widely popular across the board. They start with losing weight, quitting smoking, getting out of debt, procrastinate less. I think those are really good and fantastic goals. I actually, procrastinate less is going to be my New Year's resolution in 2021. But I work best under pressure, what can I say? Somebody just got that like a whole 30 seconds later and like, oh. I think those are good goals. I think trying to be healthier is good. I think quitting smoking is good because it's an expensive and dangerous habit. I think getting out of debt is a noble and fantastic goal. We'll offer Financial Peace University at some time next spring to help you get out of debt. I think that's an incredible goal. I think procrastinate less, whatever. I couldn't care less about that goal. I'm do that another day. But I wanted to kind of challenge you to maybe give you a couple different New Year's resolutions than what you're used to. Maybe something to help you have 2020 as the best year yet. The first one was I challenged you to get your photo taken in 5 interesting places. You may not know this, I leave to go to Cambodia tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you want, I'll call you on my ride up to the airport. But I'm going to Cambodia to serve with our friends at Rafa House International and kind of learn how we can partner with them. We'll talk more about that later. But I'm going to spend the next 10 days in Cambodia. So I've already got that one. Like, I already know I'm going to knock it out at Angkor Wat and Batabang and like a couple different places. But I want to challenge you this year, get your photo taken in 5 interesting places. The second thing I think, the second goal I think would be fun for us to do is to learn a decent party trick. I got nothing. If we're at a party and people are like, oh, I'm double jointed, I can rotate my shoulders all the way around. Or like, oh, I can juggle. I'm like,